guys? Thanks for tuning in to Twisted Youngins. I am one of your hosts, Myra King.
It's the Desi Des.
And it's your boy Dave, aka Mojo, in the building. We have a special guest in the house. All right. He said, call him Triggs or call him Wilton, whatever you want to do. Sir, introduce yourself to the peoples. All the way from Huntsville. Not in Huntsville, but that's where you're from, correct?
That's right. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. My name is Wilton Triggs, MD. Currently reside in Ohio right now. Been here for about a year now.
So MD, they call you Dr. Triggs then.
You can if you want to.
Hey, that's your title, sir. Make some people respect on your name, Dr. Triggs, all right?
Yes, sir.
So what made you relocate to Ohio?
So when I was looking at jobs, my chief resident year, my last year of residency, I got a random email from a recruiter, and they were like, "Yeah, this is a small town. We're looking to hire a plastic surgeon. We haven't had one here in 5 years." So I called them, and the package was nice, the financial package, and I came out here and interviewed twice. Well, interviewed once, and then had a second look. And I'm originally from a small town, so I was like, "Hey man, I can it's a 2-year guaranteed contract to come up here, pay some loans off, get through my boards, and then if I like it, I'll stay. If not, then." You know what I'm saying? I thought the benefit outweighed the risk. So I was like, shoot. And so I did it.
How did you get into it? What is your background? Did you go to school for, what did you go to school for? Let me ask that first.
So originally, coming out of high school, I wanted to be an engineer. My uncle was an engineer and he seemed really paid. So I was like, man, I'm gonna be an engineer. I'm gonna stack some bread and then I'm gonna open up a restaurant, like a bar and lounge type deal. Cause I'm really big into food. And so I got to school and at UAB, University of Alabama at Birmingham, and everybody was pre-med there because that's where the University of Alabama's med school is. And so I was like, well, shoot, I'd be pre-med too. And so I used to watch all these medical shows, House being the main one, and I was like, man, this is kind of dope. And it wasn't until the end of my junior year in college that I did this summer program where you get to shadow and take prep courses for the tests and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I can see myself being a doctor. So I came back, changed majors from engineering to chemistry, took the MCAT and got into med school and kind of ran from there. And then when I was getting into med school, I thought I wanted to be a neurosurgeon because I read Ben Carson's book and this other Black neurosurgeon book called Brain Surgeon by Keith Black. He's out there at UCLA. And I was like, man, I'm gonna be a neurosurgeon. And it just wasn't a fit. I didn't like it. And so my mom's mom, my grandma died of melanoma, which is rare. So I thought I wanted to be a dermatologist, shadowed a dermatologist for about a month, really liked the small surgical procedures. And so they told me to check out plastics. And then I did a 2-week elective, and then I did a 1-month elective, and I really liked it and kind of went from there.
So what was life like growing up in Huntsville?
So I'm originally from Triana, Alabama. It's a small little Black community outside of Huntsville. And so I think we moved there when I was 4, but my mom is originally from there because both my parents were in the military. And so it was just a poor, small Black farming community. And, our house was right in front of a big cotton field. So, it was just kind of country living. But my parents, I didn't know that we were from humble beginnings. I never felt like we were poor, but it was until you start getting older, you ask for things and you know what I'm saying? We can't afford it and stuff like that. But, I came from really humble beginnings. And I remember when my dad got laid off, I must've been 11 or 12. And within a week he was working, man. I saw him come home with a Burger King apron. He was out there getting it. And I don't think he ever knew, I remember that until my graduation from residency last year. And I told him, it was in my graduation speech, that I remember him getting laid off. And then within a week he was flipping burgers like it was nothing. He put his pride to the side and, started working.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
So is it safe to say that's where the stay hungry and the stay humble mindset comes from?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, man. I think over time, people that go into medicine or any really profession or whatever, they get certain accolades as they grow. And so sometimes they get kind of egotistical or kind of the big head or whatever, and they kind of forget where they came from. And so you don't reach back and try to help others out as much. You don't mentor as much like that. And so I just feel like, man, you can be humble real quick in any field you're in. And so I just really try to like put that on, and like, especially when it comes to mentoring and helping other people out. Like, you know, I don't have like a cutthroat attitude. Like if I know something, you know what I'm saying, I share it. Like, you know what I'm saying, if I found out a way that someone can market themselves, you know, I'll DM them like, hey man, I really like what you're doing. You should try to come at it from this aspect, you know. I just really believe in that. And then, you know, you got to stay hungry, because as soon as you get complacent, you know what I'm saying, you get left behind. So I'm all about, you know, always pushing forward.
Yeah. You have a good, man, that's a good mentality to have. Excellent mentality to have, because with that, that's going to keep pushing you further. You know, you know, being so determined and then helping others. And we're just having in our previous conversation, in our other interviews, and he was kind of saying the same thing about reaching back, giving information, and then especially within our community, I can't speak about this for everyone, but a lot of times we don't like sharing the connection or sharing the information. We want to keep everything for ourselves. You know, we may, you know, we don't want to. We may have everything may be, I'm not going to say laid out for us, but if we see someone else,
and you might can help them. You might know
can help them.
Yeah.
We don't want to give the information. And we're not saying, oh, you got to take care of them, do this. But like you said, I like how you come at this angle. Maybe, you know, maybe you should try this. This may work for you. You know, just something like that.
I'm telling you, man, that is so true, man. And I live by this mantra too, man, from paid in full. Everybody eats, B. Like everybody can eat. There's enough money for everybody out here. So I don't understand like why people feel a certain type of way with like helping somebody out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I come to you, I'm like, hey man, what do you think about this? And they kind of give me kind of like the like stank face. I'm like, all right, bet, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm not gonna turn around and become that person. But yeah, it's a lot of people like that out there. I don't really understand. There's no reason for it.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely. Question for you. So you graduated from South Florida, is that correct?
Yeah, I did my residency training at University of South Florida. So I was there from 2013 to 2019, 6 years.
So what's it like? I got a lot of questions for you. I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. I did some research.
Yeah, that's all good.
I'll hold you. But what's life like at why I guess I should say, why the choice of South Florida College?
So when I was applying for plastic surgery residency, it's really competitive, especially the integrated route, which means the traditional route for plastic surgery, you had to do like a general surgery residency, and then you had to apply for a plastic surgery fellowship. So that's 8 years of training, because you had to do general surgery, then 3 years of plastics. The integrated method, you come in as a plastic surgery resident, and it's minimum 6 years and you're done. It's a quicker way to get through it. So it's more competitive to get in there. So I applied to every program in the country. And then when I interviewed at University of South Florida, man, I really liked the fit. Like the other residents, I felt like I vibed with them really well. I thought the program was strong. And then my mentor at Vanderbilt, that I did a lot of rotations with, he trained under the department chairman at University of South Florida. So he reached out and, you know, to kind of gauge my interest in this program. And I was like, man, I thought it was a nice program, but the rumor on the trail was they only took applicants that actually did a rotation at their school. And I didn't. I did mine at Vanderbilt in Kentucky. And, you know, the rest was history. I was like, man, I really like the fit. The weather you can't beat. And then their program was unique, is that they get a lot of cosmetic experience just because there's a lot of money in the Tampa area. And then, you know, anywhere where it's sunny, there's going to be a lot of people that are really big into aesthetics. So that's why LA and Miami do so well when it comes to cosmetic surgery. And they get a lot of reconstructive work too, because they run the burn center. You know, anywhere you're like in a big city area, a lot of facial trauma and accidents and things like that happen. So you get to be a good reconstructive surgeon at the same time too. So that was really my choosing, like why I ranked them high on my rank list, University of South Florida.
Now you did attend UAB medicine as well, correct?
Just for undergrad. I did my medical school at Meharry Medical College in Nashville.
I asked you about the relationship with Meharry. So what's that like? Because I seen the presentation you did for the people, and I felt like that was a great thing that you did. Because like I said, spreading the message, letting people know that there are ways to do this. But what is the relationship with Meharry?
Man, I love Meharry. So when I decided to go to med school, my mom was like, "You need to make sure you apply to Meharry. You know, it's HBCU. My mom graduated from HBCU. She went to Alabama A&M University in Normal, Alabama, which is technically Huntsville.
Yep.
And you know, I wasn't really trying to go there. I think the school I wanted to go to was like Duke or something like that. And so, you know, I interviewed at a lot of medical schools and got waitlisted a lot. And then I remember when I was trying to apply for Meharry, I was broke, man. The application fee was like $85. And I ain't have it. Wow. And so I was in a research lab, and one of the people that worked with me in the research lab, you know, I kind of told him what was going on. And I remember I got a text message. I didn't know, it was from an unknown number. It was like, "Hey man, you still trying to apply to Meharry?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, I got the money for you." And I was like, "Who is this?" And it wound up being my lab partner in the research lab. So he fronted me the $85. I applied. Within a couple of weeks, I had an interview, and then like literally, I think it took like 1 week, and I heard back that I was accepted to their class of 2019. And I accepted it because I was like, "Man, I'm not about to wait around." I mean, I had a few more interviews left, and you know, I was waitlisted. I was like, "I'm not about to wait around." Clearly, they saw something, so I'm gonna roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was interviewing, Meharry has this big thing about family. Like, we're a big family, we take care of each other. And I was like, "Man, they're just saying that." You know, this is during the interview process. You know, because everybody's like cutthroat at med school. Well, that's what I thought. And so when I came through, I mean, they really do preach that whole atmosphere of family. And so, man, I wouldn't change that decision for nothing in the world. It's like you go to a school, you know, it's predominantly Black. Everybody is like smart. Everybody is like super chill, super cool. You know, did a lot of different things in undergrad and high school. Just a lot of well-rounded individuals, and you just vibe with, man. And so, you know, you kind of get sheltered a little bit because you're in an HBCU, predominantly Black. Most of the professors are predominantly Black. Everybody's like hella cool, hella chill. And then you go out into the real world, you know, you go to residency in a predominantly white institution, and it's almost like a culture shock, you know? And it's like, boom. And then, you know, you kind of out there like on an island, you know, by yourself.
Okay. How many surgeries have you performed?
Oh man. When I left out of residency, I think it was over maybe like 5,000 surgeries. And it's probably up to like almost 6,000 now. Yeah, and that's over, you know, from intern year till now, so 7 years. So yeah, almost 1,000 surgeries a year.
Wow. And and do you consider you do plastic surgery, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So what does it all entail? Do you do butt plants? Do you reconstruct?
What if somebody
an accident? Do you breast implants or tummy tucks? Like, what all does that
noses? I think they do a nose.
Yeah. So I'm a general plastic surgeon, so I do everything. I do cosmetics, I do reconstructive, I do burn surgery, I do hand surgery, because a lot of people don't know you can become a hand surgeon, either being a plastics or orthopedic surgeon. And that's like my bread and butter right now is mostly reconstructive. So a lot of skin cancer, people that have like massive skin cancers, and you can't just, you know, stitch everything together. You got to kind of like move tissue around. I do a lot of breast reconstructive surgery. I'd probably say that's probably like in the reconstructive field, probably my favorite thing to do. And then I do cosmetics as well. A lot of like massive body contour and stuff. So people that's lost a lot of weight, you know, and just have like a lot of loose skin. I like doing those procedures like arm lifts, tummy tucks, thigh lifts, things like that.
You do butt shots?
Yeah, I do a lot of Brazilians where you like liposuction the fat, and then you basically put that fat in the buttocks. Yep.
What is a healthy way to do it? Because a lot of these women, well, you know, they're having, you know, accidents with that. You know, it's blowing up on them, it's looking deformed. What is the healthy way to go about that?
So the healthy way of going about it is finding someone that's experienced and that's either board certified or board eligible, because they have to uphold themselves to a higher standard when it comes to doing those procedures. Also, you know, fat is the way to go. Like a lot of times you hear about these like motel room injections and stuff like that, and people getting these bad infections. It's because they're going to these like random hotels, and somebody that's not even like a nurse, like, you know, saying no medical experience, or like literally putting, you know, Fix-A-Flat or like caulk or silicone into their, you know, buttocks from Home Depot. That's not the type of stuff you put in there. Like, you know, even when you do like breast implants, it's like medical grade silicone, and it's like made in a way that it doesn't like really cause infection. They're taking stuff that you put in to like, you know, in bathrooms and kitchens and putting it in you, like just squirting it in there. And one, it's gonna be hard. Two, it's not sterile, so it's gonna cause an infection. So fat is the way to go. Finding someone that has experience, is board certified or board eligible. And then just being a healthy surgery candidate yourself, you know, is the best way to go about it.
How would somebody put Fix-A-Flat in your butt?
I don't know, man, but people are doing it. Like, so when I was in training, we had this girl from, you know, I did my training in Tampa. She went to like some hotel room in Miami, and some person like injected her with Fix-A-Flat. She was trying to get, you know, a cheap BBL. I don't even remember, man. It was a while ago. She may have been, I don't know, but it looked bad. So she came in with this terrible infection, both butt cheeks. And then, so basically what we had to do is we had to cut away the infection or it was going to kill her. So literally she had no butt after we got done. And then, you know, we didn't like cut open the skin. We had to take the skin off too. So we had to take skin from her legs and skin graft her. So she was completely flat with skin grafts on her. So I don't know if you've ever seen like a healed burn patient. That's how her butt looked.
Scarred and all.
Yeah, deformed forever. Like there's nothing you can do that's gonna make you look natural after that.
That's crazy. A piece of meat on your backside can give you self-esteem or take it away.
Do you ever
That's crazy.
You ever cringe during like the skin surgeries, like with the burns and the
I think the only time I really felt some type of way, it was like my first surgery as an intern, so a first year resident. And we were getting ready to reconstruct this guy. He had this bad infection of his scrotum, so his ball sack. So real bad infection. So I was there, and we used this like this gun. It's called a pulse lavage, and so it shoots like antibiotic solution, almost like a water gun. And you know, I was there like literally with both testicles in my hand, not the scrotum. The scrotum was all cut away.
Oh no!
Just like washing, you know, this area that had all this infection, pus, and all this kind of stuff. And you know, I almost felt some type of way. I think I almost fainted.
Did he live after all this?
Yeah, he lived. His testicles did fine. We wound up like creating a new scrotum for him, and he was back to work a couple of months later.
You said you created a new scrotum for him?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we took like his thigh muscle and skin, and you design it like almost like a geometric shape and fold it and put his scrotum in there and sew everything up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called a what did we do? We did a bilobe myocutaneous gracilis flap for scrotal reconstruction.
Okay. Can I ask you a question about something I've seen you speak about before? Browtosis. I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. I've never heard this term before. Can you explain it to us?
Yeah, so browtosis, all browtosis it means, so ptosis means saggy. So, you know, browtosis is just like when you're, so for men, your eyebrows should sit right at this bone right here. It's called your frontal bone. For women, your brow should sit a little bit higher on top of that bone. And so anytime it goes below those points, it's called ptosis, because then what happens is you have extra skin that collects right on top of your eyelid, so it kind of makes it hard for your peripheral vision.
Yeah.
And so people, usually older men or older females, they come in and be like, man, I've been walking into stuff, or, you know, having a hard time parking because their peripheral vision is off. If they go to like an optometrist or eye doctor or something like that, and they do this lid taping test where they literally like tape their lids up and they do better, insurance will pay for them to have like a brow lift and blepharoplasty, which is eyelid surgery, which one makes you look younger, and two, it helps you to see because it lifts away that extra skin that was blocking your vision.
Or you could put a headband, try to push all that meat up and put it in.
Like one of those dogs.
Does any of
that's exactly what it is. So if someone that comes in with saggy breasts, the correct term is like breast. Yeah.
How much this stuff run like for the breast though? Cause I mean, you know.
So it depends. So if they just getting a lift with no implant, everybody's different because it's a cosmetic procedure. So anybody can charge whatever you want to.
Oh.
So, somebody that's in high demand is going to charge more versus somebody that's struggling for business. But usually around $5,000 or $6,000, probably average. But like I said, that could be higher. It could be lower, depending on
Is that for the implant? Hold on. Is that for the implant? Or is that for
that's just to lift them. Now, if you want to lift them and put in the implant, probably around 8 to 10. Because you gotta include the implant.
Sometimes we talking about
Ooh, and it'll look nice.
D's, or we talking about some,
Well, really, it's up to them because there's different types of like styles of implant, but it doesn't matter how big it is. It's gonna cost the same as if like an 800cc implant versus a 500cc implant. If it's the same style, it's gonna cost about the same amount.
Okay, what about the butt? How much is that?
So that's a little bit more expensive because you got to liposuction all these different areas and then turn them on their back, liposuction some more, and then actually put the fat in there. Probably around 10 to 12. Somebody that's high demand, like a Dr. Miami, he's probably looking at 25K, something like that.
Hey,
ain't that bad.
So what is he doing differently from y'all that he often saying 20?
So because he's in high demand, so supply and demand.
So just
okay,
cool.
It takes a lot of time to do them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you block a whole day off to do this one surgery, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna cost a lot more versus something that only takes you an hour to do.
Oh, because he can do a lot of little things for the same amount of time. Okay.
Right.
you ever perform a sex change?
I've done top surgery. I haven't done bottom surgery. So when I was in training, we did a fair amount of like top surgery because insurance is starting to cover it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So but I've never done any bottom surgery though.
Would you starting to cover it?
Yeah, it is. At least in Florida, it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So insurance covers the sex change, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, yo.
So are you single?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
You single in Miami, sir? I mean,
no, he's in Ohio.
Yeah, that's
Ohio, right? Ohio, right?
So why you single?
Yeah, I'm in Ohio.
What's up? Player?
I'm just chilling.
I mean, listen.
When something happens, it'll happen. But
have you ever cut on a woman that you and did something with?
No, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I've had people that come in and be like chicks that I've like talked to, and they're like, yeah, I want you to do this, and I'm like, I can't do it. Cause I just don't want to do that. I feel like it's like an ethical thing, like, cause I've seen a couple of like YouTubes on people that like built their wife. I've seen two of them. I've seen like a black surgeon. I've seen a white surgeon like literally build their wife, do liposuction, facelifts, and stuff like that. And I don't want to be that dude.
Have you ever talked to a woman that's had somebody sort of, augmentation or something?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Examine. Have you examined it? Was it good work?
How would you rate the doctor's work?
I haven't talked to anybody that had bad work. I'll put it like that.
Okay.
They were on point. I think the biggest question I get is, do I automatically like use my like aesthetic eye to like look at women like when I'm meeting them and stuff like that, and I don't, because I feel like I know how to like turn it off and turn it on, unless it's like something just super obvious, you know what I'm saying, like their nose is like super crooked or something like that.
Cut that right there.
So do you get any work done? Or have
I don't think so. No, I haven't even given myself Botox or anything.
So, question, with that being said, then, with all things being said, you're not looking for a woman. Are you looking for a woman per se are you looking at women like, oh, I could do something with that? Like I could do some work on her and we can work things out. Or are you looking at women for what they are and accepting the natural beauty?
Accepting the natural beauty. Now, I'm not opposed if they want to get something done. Like that's them, you know what I'm saying?
But from a discounted rate.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna do it. Like I'll refer them to somebody I know that's good, but I'm not gonna do it.
I mean, let's be fair. We're all grown here. You're the one putting it in her life. She wants you to do the augmentations on her. She don't trust nobody else with her body like she do you.
I just couldn't do it, man. I just feel like when you see them like put to sleep and all draped out and stuff like that, I'm just like I just don't know if I can do it.
Have someone ever woke up during the surgery?
Not for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah,
you look.
it does happen though. It does happen. Yeah, that's on the anesthesia fault. That's not mine.
Right.
What is your diet like? What do you eat? Because you look built up. Look like you're working out.
Yeah, man. So I work out pretty regularly. So it started about a year ago. I started being more consistent, but like during the week, I eat pretty healthy, like salmon, chicken breast, a lot of veggies like kale. Shoot, that's really about it. Then on the weekend, I just eat whatever I want to. So I drink, I eat pizza, I do whatever I want to do during the weekend. But over time, I've noticed, like, even on the weekend, I start eating more and more healthy because it's just, I don't know, it just kind of like lingers in the back of your mind. Yeah.
What do you
But
Yeah.
but I love to eat, man. I consider myself a foodie, you know, like steak, all that kind of stuff.
What do you think is a key? What do you think is a key food for a successful diet? Put it like that.
Oh man, I think just a lot of veggies, green veggies.
Okay.
I think one, they got like a lot of fiber in you, so they kind of clean you out at the same time, taking toxins out of the body. They got like nutrients to help, and then they kind of make you feel full at the same time too, so you're not kind of like overeating. So I would say vegetables like kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, green beans, stuff like that. And then the thing is, you can't like overcook them, like boil them up too hard, because then you'll like deplete all the nutrients out of them. So like kale, I saute green beans. I don't really boil a lot of my vegetables.
You have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I got a younger brother who's 2.5 years younger than me. He's back home in Huntsville. He's a chef.
Okay.
Okay.
So you get food whenever you want to then.
Man, no, he be acting funny. He's like, you gotta pay me.
So have you been
listen,
outside this
as you
country?
should.
Like you travel?
I'm not like a huge travel person, but I have been outside the country. I have a passport. Like last year I went to the Bahamas. I was gonna go to I was trying to go to like Europe this year, but you know, the whole COVID thing shut that down. But yeah, I mean, I'm not like one of those people that's like always trying to get stamped up on their passport, but I do enjoy going out the country.
Before is America, like where have you been?
Like a lot of the Caribbean places. So the Bahamas, I've been to Colombia, Costa Rica, Mexico, Canada. Man, where else? I think those are the big ones that I can think of, but mostly like in the Caribbean and the Gulf, those like islands and stuff like that, because I'm like vacationing.
What is the tone like since like the whole pandemic and the whole Black Lives Matter movement? What is the tone like that out there in Ohio and Alabama?
Right. So you know, where I'm at, you know, this is a red county, you know, bright red. You know, I have patients come in with the MAGA hat on, and the only thing I kneel for is the Lord t-shirts and stuff like that. So, but I will say, man, one time I came, and this was like right when all the protests were starting. Man, I came home from the gym, and I was like, man, there's a lot of people in the park, because I live like, my apartment is right across from this park. And so I was like, let me go down and check it out. I was like, first of all, let me see what type of rally it is before I go down there.
Exactly. Your own one, brother. They may be expecting you.
Exactly. So, I went out to the balcony. I was like, man, because I was on the phone with my cousin. I was like, man, I think they're having like a Black Lives Matter rally. So I looked, and I was like, yeah, it is. So I went out there and checked it out for a little bit, and then they went marching and stuff like that. So, it's not like, and I mean, it was totally peaceful. The police were out there, but they were kind of like, they weren't in like, they were like plain clothes. They weren't hassling nobody. They were in a crowd, chit-chatting, talking to people. I will say, man, I have not encountered any type of prejudice or racism since I've been out here in rural Ohio, predominantly white. I would say probably about 94%. I mean, my apartment faces the border of West Virginia. Like, I can look outside and see West Virginia. I've had no issues with any parents. I probably experienced more racism when I was in Tampa than I have out here. All my patients have been super nice, super respectful, basically on some, whatever we got to do, doc, you just let me know. And, and I think, for me, I remember being at AutoZone and being approached like by people that you wouldn't even think would talk to you, and they'll tell you their whole life story. Yeah. With the MAGA hat on and everything, you know what I'm saying? So, I just find that's a an opportunity that if that conversation does come up to kind of educate somebody, because a lot of these people are just plain on ignorant. They just don't know, you know, how certain things are affecting people and things like that. So that's a teaching moment. But I mean, I haven't had anybody like disrespect me or come at me any kind of crazy way. And honestly, it's been the opposite. People have been super nice and you know, really respectful.
Okay.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's
Can
dope.
I,
It's crazy though. I mean, like I said, man, you never would expect it.
Right. Right.
No.
Do you think you'll be in Ohio for a while after your contract is up? Like,
so my contract ends next July, I think, and so I don't know. I'm on the fence. Like I'm weighing some things out. You know, there's always that desire to go strictly cosmetic. You know, be the Dr. Miami or Dr. Curves and stuff like that. And there's also, you know, you get kind of like once you move somewhere, you get kind of set in your ways. It's like, oh, I don't feel like starting all over and doing this again. So I'm not sure. I mean, I honestly would prefer to be closer back to the South, back home. That's where most of my friends are, or all my friends are, and that's where, you know, my family is. So
you're at Holzer, right?
Yeah, Holzer Health
Holzer Medical Center. So you're the first Black chief residence Department of Plastic Surgery or whatnot?
I'm definitely their first Black plastic surgeon, but I was the first Black chief resident for University of South Florida when I was still a resident.
Got you. Sorry about that. Cool. That's what's
That's
up.
all
I
good.
appreciate that. Going back to when you were younger. So you were in the Gates Millennium Scholar. You were break that down to me. I couldn't do much research on that.
So you know, Bill Gates, the Bill Gates Foundation gives this like crazy scholarship. And when I say it's crazy, like they pay for your bachelor's, your master's, and your PhD if you do something within the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics field. So any STEM career, you can, they'll pay for all of that.
wow.
Like, and give you a stipend. And so, you know, like I said, I went into undergrad wanting to do engineering. And so I filled out this long, I mean, it was like 10 essays. Like I worked on this application for months, like every day working on an essay and stuff like that. Had people read over it. And man, when I got that scholarship, that's basically, we call it high school in it, because you don't have to pay for nothing once you get to undergrad, because they cover for everything, books, tuition, and give you a stipend. And give you a stipend during the summer if you want to do, like, as long as you're like taking a class, they're giving you money to finish that up. And so, man, it's a, and then like they have like these little conferences where you get to meet other Bill Gates scholars. So it was definitely like a nice situation. It was probably my biggest scholarship outside of, I got a academic scholarship through UAB.
Okay.
You ever ran across like any of your college colleagues that was severely in debt?
Yeah, man, yeah. Like I didn't take out any loans through undergrad, but when I got to med school, the Gates Millennium Scholars don't cover that. They don't, which I think is weird, but they don't cover med school. So man, so that's my only time taking out loans. So, but I got enough loans to say that I might as well taking out loans at undergrad too. But yeah, man, I have a couple of good friends that are they're definitely trying to handle that loan situation. And luckily right now everything's deferred for a little bit without any interest going up. So that's good.
Oh yeah. That's
how
great.
is it being the first Black doctor in the family? How is it being like that? First doctor, I should say.
I feel like my family, man, I feel like they don't really like, so I answer more medical questions from like friends and like random people than I get from my own family. Like, I'm like, you know, you could just run that by me. I could have like called you in a script, or I could have told you exactly what was going on. So like only my cousin and like maybe two of my cousins will actually call me and get my like advice or something like that. Or, you know, to ask me to call them in something. Everybody else, man, they barely like let me anything know. It's almost like they don't see me like as a doctor. So you know, family wise,
a little hate. Yeah, like it's like, you know, you don't respect me. I went to school. I did all these different things. You should want to ask me. I should be the guy.
Yeah, like, and I tell them, I was like, man, I get like more medical questions from like, you know, random people or friends or the family members of my friends that I get from my own family. And it's, I don't really know if it's just like they can't see me as a doctor or what. So, you know, I don't force the issue.
Man,
First, I used to be like, hey, why didn't you come to me? But now I'm just like, whatever,
You said something that caught my attention. I was scrolling through things. You said the prettiest pictures are painted with the darkest colors. Can you break that down?
Yeah, man. So I got that quote from a movie, Bruce Almighty, with Jim Carrey.
Correct.
And Morgan Freeman was playing like God.
Yeah.
And I think he said that quote towards the end of the movie. And I was in high school. And man, when I heard that, I was like, man, that's perfect. So to me, it felt like, I didn't come from this like respected background, because most doctors you meet, their dad, their mom, uncles, like they have this whole lineage of people in healthcare. Like I didn't have that, they had someone to kind of show them the ropes. Or even like a lot of athletes now, if you notice a lot of athletes, they're all coming from like, their dad was in the NFL, their mom ran track. I mean, I'm talking about NBA, NFL, all this. Like a lot of this stuff is coming through lineage because they know how to navigate the systems. They have connections. And so for me, like, I had to get it out the mud. So to me, I felt like, the difficulties I had in my life basically made me who I am today. And, those were a lot of dark colors. And, it made a nice picture to where I am today. And, I use that quote like almost in all my scholarship applications, and most of those scholarships I got. And I used it for a couple of other essays when I was in college.
Are you a sports fan?
I am.
What's your sports?
So NFL, I follow the Bucks because I was in Tampa for 6 years.
Okay, Tom Brady, that's my man.
That's right. I go wherever LeBron goes. So if LeBron goes to the Clippers,
he said, "You're home with my Lakers. Don't you worry about it. Go nowhere. You're gonna put a statue outside for him."
Exactly. Hockey, I follow the Tampa team, and also for baseball, I follow the Tampa Rays. So. And then I'm an Alabama fan for college football.
There we go. You said yeah, go ahead.
I was like, we definitely like another purpose of this is we definitely just wanted to give you your flowers as well. We think this is, dope. It's great what you're doing. A lot of people that see that, may look like us, we don't get a chance to have the interaction with them.
Yeah.
And just to give somebody their flowers and just to see someone thrive. And I think that's great. And for others to hear the story, that's even better as well. So to let everybody know that this is
people don't even know that they can do this. They
don't. They think they get deterred. They think it's out far fetched.
Yeah.
They especially when you talking about the amount of time you got to go to school and the amount of money. And another, I think within our community, I think money plays an issue too, especially with going away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely does. And so like that's like one of the reasons I started my page. Because I do a lot of like mentoring and community work. I partner with a lot of like nonprofits because I don't have my own. And, it's like talking to like, elementary, middle school, high school kids like, hey, man, I've been right where you were. I know exactly how this thing goes. To just kind of show them like, hey, man, you got other options. And, I've worked with one particular program in Tampa. Like I still travel back to Tampa and do like career days and different functions when they have these sessions. Called G3 Life Applications, Give God the Glory Life Applications. And, that's basically what I do to try to show them, at least just be there. And I try to show up, with my chains on and everything like that, swagged out, just so I can show like, man, you ain't gotta be a square out here. You know what I'm saying? You can be yourself and still like make a good living. But at the end of the day, it's just finding something you love to do, but you can always make money.
Last question. Are you religious?
Yeah, I am. I'm a Christian.
Okay, you a Christian? Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yes, sir.
A question I do got for you before we get out of here. One key thing that I think a lot of people need to pay attention to.
Because you need faith. That's why I always ask that. Because you know.
Definitely. What people need to pay attention to in this interview is that you did say you had a mentor from Vanderbilt, right?
That's right.
And Vanderbilt ain't just no normal school. That's a school full of some smart people. So how'd you bump into this mentor?
So, man, that's the first time I've ever gotten that question, because usually I say nobody ever follows up on it. So because I went to Meharry, but Meharry has like an alliance with Vanderbilt. So some rotations we do over there. And so when I was, when I knew I wanted to do plastic surgery, I sent it. I'm trying to think that I sent an email. I sent the email to do a rotation over there before I went to Kentucky, because these away rotations are basically like an on-the-job interview. You do a rotation for like a month. and you know, you work with the residents and stuff like that, so they can get to know you. And a lot of times they give you an interview during that rotation, or that bumps you higher, or it can hurt you. You know what I'm saying, to get accepted to that program. And so I emailed, and honestly, I don't know why I emailed this certain guy, but there's Jason Wendell out in Nashville, and I don't even think I worked with him before. And he was like, "Yeah, I have time. You can rotate with me for a month." And so I did. So I worked with him exclusively in clinic and in the operating room, and I did so well. He went up the bat for me, you know, writing my letter of recommendation. That was really well written, because that's really where it's at. Like, who you know and how good your letter is will get you in the door. And it's in medicine too. It's not just numbers. Like, it's who you know. Like, for real.
Absolutely. That's why I said, you saying you have a mentor, a lot of people don't understand. That's helpful.
Yeah, it's super. Like, man, I'm telling you, that is, and that's what, man, that hurt me, I think, the most going through residency. I didn't really have like a mentor, someone that was kind of like in my age group to kind of like show me the way, like during residency. And so I stumbled, like, starting off, but then, you know, I kind of got my feet back under me, and you know, everything else went well. But yeah, man, mentorship is so key, I think, on any phase of life.
Cool.
For sure.
Now, you are registered with Medicare, right? Like,
yeah, I am Medicare and Medicaid. Yep.
Okay, so that means basically you accept claim assignments, right?
That's right, I do.
Cool.
Yes,
So for the people out there who feel like they might not be able to make it, the man might be able to work something out with
That's
you.
right.
Which
That's
end,
right.
He'll be able to, he might be able to get you in and get you out of here, all right?
That's right. Get you right. We'll get you tight.
We definitely appreciate this. We got to have you on again.
Hey, just reach out, man. I'm available. I'm down.
Absolutely.
We'll appreciate this. It's been great.
More than anything, it's great content for the children,
great content.
man. Like I said, the babies need to see that there's actually something else for them to do out here in these streets, other than, like you said, regular sports, or even just going out and doing, not saying that it's a bad field, but just doing the regular construction jobs and stuff like that. You don't have to do, you could do anything. You can go be a plastic surgeon such as you, or anything else like that in the matter. You know,
I think it's all about exposure, man. People are going to emulate things. And so if you don't see it, you're not really going to think about it.
Yeah. Do you take vitamins?
I do. I take like a men's 1 a day, like Active Edge Pro, and I take a lot of supplements too. I take like echinacea, golden seal, I take a probiotic, milk thistle, cinnamon. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Come back.
Where do you get that? You just get it on all
this down now.
Yeah,
I just get it from Walmart.
Oh, Walmart! I thought
I go through the little supplement aisles, and that's where I cop them from. But I've been hearing about like better quality supplements, so I'm gonna start looking at that. So hopefully, y'all bring me back. I'll have like a review on some, like, you know,
you'll be back. You'll be back.
Yeah, hopefully you have the review ready. We'll bring you back.
Yeah, man. Like, if you want to do like a Q&A on like different, you know, hot plastic surgery procedures that's going on, I'm down.
No, actually, before we get out of here, that is one question I got for you. Since you are single and you are a plastic surgeon, what is the wildest DM that you have had so far?
Just straight news. They'll come in, like, it won't even be like any, it'll be like, hey, what do you think about these? And then I'm like, nothing looks wrong with these. And they'll be like, oh, well, now that I have your attention. And that's exactly how the message went.
That's why
probably the craziest.
Up there just going hard in Iowa, right?
Ohio,
yeah.
Ohio.
I mean, this person wasn't even in Ohio. It was just like, I was like, wow, okay, then.
Flying them out, man, or what?
Yeah, they
Say what now?
Are you flying them out?
Yeah, they want to know.
No comment.
Not confirm nor deny.
Exactly. I plead the fifth.
None of that's all that's up for debate. Who knows?
Especially, they said round trips is like $150 depending on where you are flying at.
Hey,
from.
Might be the time to get flued out if you try.
Get some airline credits.
Other than that, man, like I said, I appreciate you coming out, sir. We will definitely have you back. Like I said, the information you've given us, we are going to continue to spread this knowledge with the rest of the people. And serve and protect the people out here and continue to give it back.
Right. Always for the culture, man. Always.
Sir.
You know, have a good one. And like I said, enjoy your roses. We just want to give you your roses.
Definitely, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Enjoy yourself. All right, thank you.
Thank you.